Ben Shapiro has been exposed. Apparently, his new recruit or protege, as you want to call it, has been outed as a fake and a fraud. But I want to take you back to the moment when we first saw this young man.
Take me back.
You see, the first time we saw this young man was during the Jubilee debates, and he was one of the people that was debating Amanda Seales. So let's go back so you can, rediscover who Matt was, and this will all make sense when we get into the Ben Shapiro expose. So this was last year. Amanda Seales came onto the show when I was asking her about Matt Nuclear, why this man was pretending to be uneducated here. Listen to this right here, Amanda. The young gentleman who I later found out is from Maine, apparently.
Angola.
And yes. So I'm just going to play this part for those who have not seen.
Comparing Chinese people who are immigrants that made a choice to come to the United States and comparing the continued effort of Black people to ground themselves in a nation that continues to make impediments for them to show and live and exist in their true citizenship is a false equivalency.
I don't believe that happens at all. No one here is in.
Are you acting right now? Do you really believe this?
I'm telling the truth. There's no systemic racism that I've experienced here in America.
See, that question I want you to hold on to was, are you acting right now? Yeah, he is. He's an actor, right? So, and again, the Angola part I thought was really interesting because he was basically saying how it is for Black Americans, but he's not a Black American. So you see how they try to pretend to use people as Black Americans that are not Black Americans. Oh boy.
What system is racist? I think the only racism we've actually seen recently, systemic racism that we've seen, is the application of systemic racism against white people. The University of Western Washington, for example, has been trying to segregate dormitories, using Black-only dormitories because Black people feel safer amongst each other. But they're more likely to kill each other than white people are ever to kill them. That's just the truth. You have King Von rapping about killing other Black men. Why should I think that the white man is the oppressor when Black men are more likely to kill me?
Oh my God.
So you see this? So that's where he came from. And this is important because when I saw him then, I said, this dude just seems like it's a script. I do not think that you are genuine. You cannot be this naive, especially I think he says he lives in Maine now. Okay, I go to Maine every summer. It's just like right there. Doop, doop. Okay, you're in Maine. You're not around many Black people. And don't try to tell me differently. I know. But you seem to know all this stuff about, give me a break. Give me a break. Okay. I know people that went to school in Maine. They didn't even learn our history.
Okay. What are you trying to say though? I don't get it. I mean, I get your point, but what are you trying to say? You're trying to say that because he's in Maine, he's never been around Black people? Like, what is that? What is that, dude? Come on.
Because it wasn't required to teach it. I knew this kid was acting. Right? This is important. Ben Shapiro apparently recruited Matt. If that's his real name, we don't know. But recruited him to be a part of his team at the Daily Wire. And I'm going to prove a point here because Ben Shapiro has done this before. And my prediction is that Ben Shapiro brought this kid over to basically reach the younger people, the younger conservatives that may be conflicted over Israel and maybe some other issues, to reach that part of the conservative base because Ben Shapiro can no longer reach them the way that he could before because of his undying support for a genocidal state. So Ben Shapiro introduced him here.
We are very excited about Matt Nuclear joining the Daily Wire. Now, if you haven't seen Matt before, I'm sure you probably have, you just don't know his name. Matt is the kid, and he is like 19 years old, who became pretty famous for debating Amanda Seales on Jubilee and just taking her apart. Matt is dedicated to the facts. He's dedicated to doing his research. He is whip smart, and he's quite clever. I mean, if you watch him debate, it is a thing, which is why we decided that we wanted to bring him on board to be a person who just debates. And that is what his show is. His show is just a series of debates with pretty much anybody who wants to debate him. He is part of the TikTok Gen Z culture, changing minds, changing hearts by having open discussions with literally anyone. He will take on all comers on his new show, The Nuclear Reaction. And we are very excited to be joined online by brand new Daily Wire personality, Matt Nuclear. Matt, thanks so much for the time.
Yeah, great, because this has never been done before. There's never been a let's get together and debate show, right? So Ben Shapiro lacks personality and appeal. This Matt guy lacks personality and appeal as well. But what's crazy about all of this is that he is now exposed for not being any of these things that Ben Shapiro said he was. Ben Shapiro says he was intelligent. He's a great debater. We're going to get into it. So Matt comes on here.
I mean, the part that I disagree is that you cannot debate anybody on anything. Ben Shapiro is just talking. You cannot debate anybody on anything. Who are you? God? You cannot. There's nobody on earth that can debate anybody about anything, bro. It's like he's clever. You know, you first say he's smart and he's clever. Like, smart and clever. And I'm like, okay, what do we have here?
And accepts this welcoming.
Thank you, Bam. I am honored to be here. Thank you.
So, I mean, first of all, congratulations on the show. It's awesome. It must also be pretty exhausting. I mean, debating people for 2 hours at a time, pretty much every weeknight, and that's a lot. How do you prep for this sort of stuff?
Oh, I do constant research. I'm constantly reading books and constantly reading academic articles and trying to keep up with things on the media and just doing research even on past and prior events, especially when we're talking about a lot of conflicts in terms of foreign policy, to make sure I'm up to date, that I'm very well read, so that I'm always prepared to debate these callers. And typically I'm more informed than they are because they're just calling in. You know, it depends, obviously, whether or not they're like specifically going out for me. But yeah.
He said he's more informed than they are. Hold on to that, folks.
So, well, what are some of the big trends that you're seeing when it comes to the people who are calling in? Obviously, people love the debate. They love the back and forth. But what topics are particularly hot right now? I assume the Middle East, but what else?
Right. The topics that are really hot that I see are like things in reference to DEI, things in reference to affirmative action. I'm Black, obviously, and I have sort of like a right-wing conservative take on this. Similar to you, obviously, but you're not Black. And so I give my perspective from that side of the aisle. And a lot of older people that, you know, from all walks of life come in and they're like, okay, like, why do you believe DEI is bad? Why do you believe affirmative action is bad? Why do you believe that, socialism is bad? Why are you for a strong border? Why are you for, free market policies? And so they come in and I give them my sort of perspective on it. And those are the topics that are pretty hot as well. But the main hot one that people really get, thrilled for or excited about is the topic about Israel and the Middle East.
So it's interesting. Now, pay attention now, because now he says that he is Black, right? But during that Jubilee debate, when she was asking him where he was from, you got to go back and watch the whole thing and stuff. He said, well, I'm originally from, Angola. That's why she was trying to school him about making the comparison between Black Americans and Chinese people who immigrated here, because he was trying to make that comparison. It's not the same thing. I can't even believe I have to say this in 2026. But notice how he's shifting now, because this is the role that Ben Shapiro hired him to play. He is an actor. There are many of them. This one just happened to get exposed. So now it's, oh, well, I'm not Angolian and da-da-da. Now he's Black, because that's the role he is designed to play.
Okay, what is wrong with people, dude? He is not Black? What do you mean? I mean, I'm with you on this one, but what do you mean he's not Black? What does that mean? What does that even mean, really? Like, is that like, okay, so Black, what is that? Is it like American Black, or what is it? What is that? Okay, first of all, I don't even like that term Black, but I'm gonna use it here. Okay? So if you really want to look at the origins, like, dude, Africa was before anybody was. Okay? So it was really like, I don't know. This is very confusing. To me especially, it's like very confusing. He said he was from Angola, and now he said he's Black. Okay, so people from there are not. Are you saying that okay, he can only say that if he was born in America? What is that, dude?
It is sort of fascinating how that's risen to the top of the charts over the course of the last couple of years. I have my own theories as to why that has happened, but it is sort of fascinating. This becomes such a litmus test for a lot of people in the online world. Well, what do you find is the difficult issue for you to debate? What's the hardest one that you have a tough time with?
I would say probably economics. It would probably be the more difficult one, although like typically when I'm talking to the average caller, there's still really no big friction or issue there necessarily. Although typically I'm talking about social policy and foreign policy and some domestic issues here in America.
Okay.
So obviously,
not really much more you need to really hear there. I mean, you guys get the gist of it, right? So he said one of the topics that he struggles with is economics. But he tried to argue Amanda Seales down when he was talking about economics right here. When he was talking about Black people and economics, he tried to argue Amanda Seales down. Okay? Hold on to that, because this is what is being revealed now. Because see, I'm not letting, people not falling for this, okay? This kid, I want you to hear what he's been saying, right? Now, Ben Shapiro come in to prop him up. And this is also payback. Ben Shapiro's way of payback against Candace Owens and also against Nick Fuentes. Because Ben Shapiro originally was trying to recruit Nick Fuentes. Remember we found that out? And Nick Fuentes, I guess, didn't follow that, path. And so he wasn't able to take him up under his wing. This guy has been hired to basically go after the Groypers, that Nick Fuentes fan base, and to pull them back on board for the Ben Shapiro side of MAGA. Basically get them to support the never-ending wars, to be pro-Israel, obviously to support Turning Point USA. You see where I'm going with all of this. So this is payback for Ben. Let me show you what this young man is saying on this so-called debate show. Listen to what he says here.
That's why I broke him. Again, because these people, they're not a real identity. And again, I get it. People think I'm trying to be spiteful. I'm going to be totally honest, guys. I'm not doing this to be spiteful. I'm doing this because I really like history. And I think that there's an entire revisionist history on the Palestinians that has been orchestrated and promulgated by the left, where the Palestinians are actually just indigenous peoples, where the Palestinians had a country before 1948, where Arabs are actually not from Arabia, but they're instead from the Levant. More specifically, they're from modern day Israel or modern day Lebanon or modern day Syria or Jordan or Egypt. Arabs are not from that land. The Palestinians speak Arabic. Their main religion is Islam. Their entire identity as we know it is totally foreign to that land. They're not indigenous. They're not from there. It doesn't mean they can't live there, though, because Arabs live in the Levant. Arabs dominate Jordan like the Hashemites do. Arabs dominate Syria. And no one is saying they can't live in places where they're not originally from. Europeans are not originally from North America.
So do you see what he's doing? This is his first assignment. You see how he's trying to demonize the Palestinian people, and he's telling people in this queue that they're not from there and that Palestine is this made up place. Like, this is really bad. But this is one of his assignments. The point that I'm trying to make is this. Ben Shapiro has had a track record of recruiting Black faces to be pro-Israel, to serve his cause, to serve his people. This is just one of the conversations. And then if you look at the channel, look at this. See, it's got the DW at the bottom, the Daily Wire at the bottom corner. Palestine is a myth. That's what he's talking about. Live debates, the nuclear reaction. This is the channel. But He's a fraud. Check out this expose here. Ben Shapiro hired a debater to fight groypers, and it backfired badly. Here we go. All right. 2 weeks ago, Ben Shapiro announced the hiring of the Daily Wire's explosive new star, Matt Nuclear, a 19-year-old internet debating wonderkin. We wanted to bring him on board to be a person who just debates, Shapiro said, promising that Nuclear, unclear if that's his real name, would host a nightly debate live stream where he would take on all comers. Perhaps Shapiro wanted to get in on the Jubilee fad.
I'm done with this, man. I'm not like this is useless. I mean, I get it, but really, like, do we really gotta, when I talk about a lot of things, but I do not talk about where people are not from this land, people are not from that land. I get it. I get this story about Israel. I get this story. I get all of it, right? But my point is this: nobody really is from anywhere. Nobody, you're not from anywhere, dude. You're not from anywhere. It started in the Garden of Eden, Africa, okay? The Akibulan. It started in the Garden of Eden, Africa, quote unquote. You get what I'm saying? That's where it started. That's where everything is. That's where people really are from. But now people decided to move around, and skin colors and all these things started changing. Really, you telling me that what? Who is from where? Who deserves to be where? Who deserves to be where? Nobody. People fighting for lands. People fighting for this. People fighting for that. Dude, what are you fighting for, dude? Like, you just want to take people out for no reason. I mean, no reason. Okay. So to me, it's just like all these debates. It's just garbage to me. It's just garbage. And then that lady saying that guy said he's black, but he's not. Man, I get it. They exposed Ben Shapiro for some reason, somehow. But really, the argument of this lady using to do all what she's doing, I don't get it. It's not it. It's not it, man. What do you guys think about this? Comment, like, dislike. Appreciate you guys. Be back again with some more videos. This video was too long. Yazoo. I'm out.
Know this easily. I'm praying to the sky and I got no fear. That's right, bro, I got no fear. Every day in my head, every day in my ears. Yeah, every day in my ears. One drop me down and yeah, that's clear. Yeah, everything is not clear. This the end, then everything's clear. That's right, the end is near. Get away from me. All these demons, get away from me.